New Amsterdam is NBC's newest hit medical drama that has captured the hearts of millions. It features a driven and sometimes stubborn doctor who just wants to help people get the medical care they deserve.
Who's that little muffin? Look at me. Oh, there she is. I can touch your nose with my nose. Oh.
Yeah, how can I help? He repeated?
Yes. Sorry, Capitana. Yeah. Here's the sitch. Right? Come with me. So, I'll give you one guess what all those kids in there have in common.
They all just heard you do 15 verses of Baby Shark?
Walked right into that one.
Yeah.
No, they are all transgender, and they've all been denied medical care thanks to these so-called conscience laws allowing hospitals to just freely discriminate.
Hospitals are denying them transition care?
No, hospitals are denying them any care whatsoever. So I'm proposing that New Amsterdam starts a fund to help shoulder the costs.
A lot of art on these walls.
Yes, Max, art therapy is a big part of what we do here, but I'm gonna need you to focus up, okay?
What if we create an art show annually, auction your patient's work, and use that money to, build the fund you're talking about?
Who's the best medical director ever? Who's the best medical director ever? Your daddy!
Here with us now from the show is Janet Montgomery and Lisa O'Hare. Ladies, thank you for joining us here in Wisconsin. How are you guys?
Hi, we're good. How are you?
All right, first up, congratulations. You did it. Season 2 of New Amsterdam starts tomorrow right here on NBC. Nearly 10 million people are watching. So what is your big secret to the success of this show?
The big secret of the success of the show? I really think it's probably the writing, and Ryan Eggold is nice to look at.
It's really hard work. My job in particular is very difficult. No, I think the casting is pretty remarkable. I think it's an amazing group of actors. It's a privilege to go in and work with them.
Very nice.
Lisa, now I have a question for you. Like you said, it's very difficult having a relationship with Max in the show. Do you think you guys are going to grow closer? What do you think that relationship is going to be like in the next season after this horrific crash and the new baby?
Goodness. I can't answer that question because we don't survive. So it's yet to be seen. But I think what we can say is that everything is going to change dramatically for Max due to the loss of this one person who we cannot reveal. And so it's going to be about sort of how it affects everybody and Max in particular. And I think you're going to learn some things about our lead character that perhaps we didn't know. Yes. Gosh, it's so difficult to answer these questions.
Now, Janet, the crash, you are pretty much thrown out of the ambulance and your leg is twisted in a way I've never seen a leg twist before. I kind of have a feeling, I don't want to put a guess out there, but I kind of have a feeling you don't have much of a chance to survive. I'm sorry to say. How do you feel about that?
Well, look, I can't say what happens. I will say, though, shooting that, I just had a baby 3 weeks before we shot that episode, and my favorite part of it was laying on the concrete floor and getting a moment to myself just to rest my eyes. So everyone was like, "Oh, are you okay down there on the Manhattan street?" I was like, "Just leave me here." I had a little snooze, so yeah. That's all I can tell you.
Great.
Yeah, I was going to say, this show is successfully balancing not only running a hospital, but also some relatable and emotional storylines in there. What do you think is the right balance to follow these lines?
The right balance of the storylines. Well, to be honest, I feel like that's kind of our job with, telling stories. You want the correct balance of like showing a workplace, I guess, a workplace drama, seeing what goes on in a hospital. But what's interesting for most people is how they can relate to lots of people from different walks of life. So I think the balance of that is just trying to create stories that people feel like represent their own lives.
And just, I think as well, trusting in the text. It's so beautifully written that when we do these table reads, it's sometimes just trusting what's in front of you because they already have such a fleshed out idea of who these characters are. And sometimes we're discovering it when we get the script. We think, oh goodness, that's what happened to our character and that's why they behave the way they do. And they're so genius with the way that they flesh out these characters.
Ladies, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us here today on Up North at 4. Is there any last thing you want to tell our audience for tuning in tomorrow night to season 2?
Well, it's really sad that Max dies, but we hope you'll still watch. Oh, I'm just kidding. No, that was a joke. But you know, this guy back here, he's quite handsome, so you should probably check him out.
Yeah, and season 2 premieres tomorrow night, right after This Is Us, which is, by the way, is a huge show too.
Right.
And then, can you give us a little tease? The title is tomorrow is called, what is it? Your Turn. What's the little tease in there for us for tomorrow night?
Goodness. Well, we're going to find out who we lose, and it's going to be really epic and sad and moving, and goodness, I don't know. What else do we have to say?
I mean, there's so little we can say, but I think people are sort of trying to guess who it is that we lose, or do we really lose anyone? All we can say is that someone very integral to the story we do unfortunately lose, and that has a real knock-on effect with all the other characters, and I think that it really changes the dynamic of the second season.
Very good.
Janet, Lisa, thank you so much for being with us here today. We are so excited to watch you guys tomorrow night, season 2, New Amsterdam.